told her that at their place of work, someone came into their work who matched the description of the guy, and this person was saying like, oh, I'm, traveling to Texas, and I caused like quite a stir at a TwitchCon, and this person reached out to my manager, reached out to police, San Diego police interviewed them. But basically what I'm trying to say is because all this stuff was delayed, this guy was able to get really far away from San Diego, allegedly. And this whole time my manager was basically begging Twitch, dude, please give us his name. We don't know who this person is. For all we know, he lives around where Emmy and her roommates live. I can't help her if I don't know who this person is, and they were refusing to do it. But after that tip from the person who said that the guy came into their workplace and was talking to him, my manager demanded the info from Twitch. So they did end up giving it to police, but not my manager as far as I know. She still doesn't. Yeah, so the investigation's still going on, but it's been a huge mess because of all of the delays. I'm finally gonna be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this, because I can't hold on to it any longer, because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, if we were driving in the car together, he would be going 150 miles an hour, and one time he even said well, now we're both gonna die, threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't even necessarily because of me or because of something I did a lot of the time. One of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food, and he was on his phone, and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. Then at home, Other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together. He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, "Oh, it's an accident."
There's more.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
There's more. Oh my god. Who's he talking to? Jesus. He said Mitch Jones was right. Right about what? Okay. Yo, Mitch Jones in every drama will change stories 20 times. He'll take all sides, every possible angle. Of course he's gonna be right. He said everything possible about every topic. I'm not being a hater.
But I can talk about kind of what happened. I guess the first thing I can talk about is the peer, which is the thing that I got mentioned with, which is I was starting my stream. It was the beginning of my stream. I remember I was like, I don't know, like maybe an hour into my stream or something like that. I got a call from Emiru and I was like, what the fuck? And this was like the day after the peer thing had happened. And I saw that Mizkif had gone live earlier in the day. He almost never does that. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, maybe he went live to farm viewers and talk about this, right? But then she calls me and she's crying, and Ray and Cinna and one of their managers is there too, and I'm talking to all four of them. And this is, I muted the stream, and this is why, by the way, I haven't reacted to any Miz clips in the last like 6 months. I haven't talked about Miz in the last 6 months. I haven't had anything to do with him like a year. I apologize for two things, for vague posting about it and saying that, and I also apologize for platforming him. Right? I mean, the truth is I couldn't have known, I didn't know any of this whenever I met him. Whenever we started OTK together, I had no idea. And when I did realize you can see kind of the way that I dealt with it and everything, and it's just like in stream, like this is the reason why I fucking like when Ludwig had that clip about like 95% of streamers I'm gonna talk to again, I was like, yeah, yes, bro, like yes, you shall, right? Like the thing that happened in 2022 was kind of like the beginning of the end for me with like being friends with any streamers or anything like that, and I have like a very small circle now of people that I'm close with. In the podcast, then after that we go out to get food. We go to this, it's a Vietnamese place, so we went out to get food. And she's sitting there with the rabbit in the chair next to her, hand feeding the rabbit lettuce from the Vietnamese restaurant because it can't fucking move. So the idea that she hates the rabbits or killed the rabbits or does not care about the rabbits, I have witnessed firsthand, is a lie. No, you can't be a tank in Classic WoW. Then that will make me look bad because I'm a tank in Classic WoW. So how can you be a tank and I'm a tank? No, well then everybody's going to look at me. They're going to say I'm going to look bad. No, you can't. No. Oh, you don't have any boundaries. Oh, you just want to do whatever you want. Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, fuck me then, right? Next thing you know, there's another hole in the wall. You see his response video? No, I don't want to watch anything about him. I don't want to watch anything about him. I don't want to hear anything about him. I don't want to deal with him. I just want to move on. And to the extent that other people decide to tell their stories, and especially the ones that I'm aware of, I will, as with Emmy, be there for them to support them. Because I've tried my best